I'm a working and practicing artist. I never wanted to do anything else in my life. Since the second grade, I decided I wanted to be an artist.
My earliest memory of making art was being on the floor of the living room with my father and coloring books, and him teaching me how to mix colors and stuff like that.
I started doing mostly collage. That was a big thing of mine because I loved the freedom of moving papers around and changing things at a whim until they landed in the right place.
I used to pick up the newspaper and draw comic strips and just drawing. That was a thing for me, just drawing.
I've always been very interested in fairy tales when I was little, mythology when I was older, and I just feel this compulsion to somehow externalize that in some way.
My eyes are always to the ground too. I pick up stuff that I can use either as a printmaking tool or as a piece of something for an assemblage that I have made, because I work in assemblage also on a smaller scale.
I'm primarily an abstract artist, and if you look at the stuff, they're really just piles of junk that I gussied up.
The picture behind me has mostly oils, and a few pieces you might spot have paper in there. It doesn't have to be paper, it could be anything that you put, any disposable thing that the society throws away.
Most of my work has to do with the environment. Sometimes I'll either take a photograph of a landscape that I love. For instance, the Delaware is a primo resource.
The pieces that I have here, I could not help myself by not making political work, and I did 1619. I love Spike Lee.
A lot of my paintings have meanings. Like the painting behind me, I call it Bessie Mae Ross. Everybody say Bessie Ross did the American flag, but they didn't know about the African lady who worked with Bessie Ross that helped her out.
You want to surprise people, you want to catch them off guard, do something that they haven't seen, something unique.
Earth Day, the environment. What if we just took all the hard junk and used it in the environment? You know, you can build things out of it.
How do I know when a piece is done? Well, actually, I don't.
I worked on a piece from 1985. I started at the Studio Museum in Harlem till I think it was 35 years I worked on it.
I always talk the piece and have a communication with that piece, and I have to listen to what that piece is telling me. Because that's a living thing that you're working on. It's not inanimate. It's alive and it breathes.
This picture that's behind me, I wasn't even sure if it was done, and they were having this show. I said, well, I guess it's done, maybe it's done.
If it was 100 years ago or 2,000 years ago, it's going to look finished. It is going to speak. It's going to have a voice. And that's my job, to make sure its voice is heard.